Okay, for our glamorous tin today, you're going to need, of course, your tin. And you're going to want to sand it. I used a medium grit sander, and it just needs to be to where you can feel it's a little scratchy. You don't want to have to take the whole top off. The gesso will cover that. You're going to need a foam tool because foam will actually hold the inks a lot better for you to mess around with them, whereas a cotton tool would absorb the inks too fast. You're going to need perfect medium, but if you don't have perfect medium, you can always use a good adhesive that will pick up foil, and we're going to be using foil on this tin. And then you're of course going to need your alcohol inks, and you're going to need some paper towels, and you're going to want to cover yourself with a towel for this. I always cover myself when I'm messing with alcohol inks because I do a lot of moving around, and I have a lot of clothes that look like I was trying to decorate them and it went awry. Anyway, so let's get started. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to just pour some gesso directly on the can. You don't need special tools for this, and you just want to pounce it on here. Now the reason why I'm pouncing as opposed to spreading is, well, first of all, you'll have lots and lots of streaks if you try to spread it, but second of all, pouncing will pick up the alcohol ink really nice when you're done. So you want to do this, and you want to let it dry. You want to do this for 2 coats and let them dry, and it doesn't take that long for gesso to dry. So once you do that and you have your dry piece, which I've already done here, you want to next do your alcohol inks. So the way I do that is I take my light color first, and I just put it on here in dots, spread out like that. Not a lot needed. And then I pounce it on here. Now what happens is it spreads a little and gives it a nice stained look. So, and I might do that a couple times depending on how much coverage I get the first time. It's important to spread it out because you get more of the staining and the spotting. And just give it as much coverage as you want to. Next, you want to take your darker color. In this case, I'm using cranberry. I'm using the same tool. You just want to splotch it on there the same way in dots. And you want to go over the top. The white is going to show through just a little bit. And you can spread along the sides. You could do this however you want until you have the look you want on the top. And you just want to give that a couple of minutes to dry before you go into the next step. Okay, after your alcohol inks dry, you can touch this up. I'm sure you will. And what I did was I used some perfect medium and dabbed it on there, and then I used some art glitter, and then I let it set for just a couple of seconds, tapped off the excess. The next thing is to dab on some of the foil adhesive, and you just can do this with a paper towel. Just simply dump it in there like that and dab it on. Okay, after you've done that, you can take your foil and you could lay it right on top like that and just rub it in. And you can use a tool to rub this in if you want. You can actually even use this tool like that. I like to give it some randomness. And then you start picking it up. Oh yeah. And what you have left behind is a beautiful gold sheen. Okay. So there's many things you can do with this after you've done that. You can decorate it any way you want to. You can turn it into something personal. You can add a charm to the top of it, which is what I'm going to do with this piece that I made. I'm going to add that right to the top. You can add a photo to the top of it. You can emboss a tag and add a tag to the top of it. Whatever you want to do. So have fun with that. And I'll see you next time in the studio with the Alter Diva.